Hello and welcome to this Manchester United career mode. In this series we are going to try to take Manchester United back to the top of English football. As always in this series, all decisions that we make will be done based on data. This means that whenever we sell or buy a player, we will first take a look at the data to see if it's a smart buy or a smart sell. Are you interested in how you can make the right choices based on data? There's a link in the description which will lead you to a video explaining it bit by bit. As I said before, in this series we are going to take Man United back to their winning ways. Each video will be half a season and it will take you through all the managerial decisions I make. Enough chit chat for now, let's jump straight into the video. We begin right here, as I've tried to recreate Erik ten Hag, and of course Erik ten Unskilled is how we're going to be playing. 53 years old, and we've replaced previous manager Erik ten Hag, as you can see right there. Let's jump to the next, and this is how the media expects us to come in first. Then also Old Trafford, 47,000 capacity, excellent training facilities, youth facilities and youth recruitment, so we could get a lot of good youngsters if we do it well. And of course we've won a lot of titles but haven't really won a Premier League title or a Champions League title in the past couple of years, so we're really going to try to make sure that we can do that again and bring them back to their winning ways. Of course, a very old club, 1878, very old club, which is nice to see. So let's go next and see what team we're working with. So as you all probably know, Rashford and Antony on the wings, Holland in the striker positions, a really good midfield with Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. Amrabat, I'm not very sure if we're going to be playing him. Then as well as Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, and Martinez in the defense, and Onana as our starting goalkeeper, which is very nice to see. Then what does the board expect from us? Develop players using our youth system. Yeah, sign high reputation players, so we're going to have to spend money, which is of course very a shame. No, I'm joking. We're going to love that, to sign high reputation players, and qualify for the Europa League is actually what they expect of us. And I don't really know what they expect from us in the Premier League. Not really a lot. I think if they expect us to qualify for the Europa League, they expect us to come in like 6th or 7th, which is absolutely fine. Let's click on next, and then how they want us to play. The supporters expect us to qualify for the Champions League, become the most reputable team in England and in the world and in Europe. So we're going to try. Of course, if you win a lot, you're going to be more reputable. So we're going to be looking if we can do that. Get the better out of our rivals' leads if we happen to play against them. Well, that wouldn't be a very hard thing to do. So with all of this out of the way, let's jump straight into how our squad is going to be looking and which players we might be looking on to sell and which players we want to bring in. And the squad is looking like this. So, as I already expected, Andre Onana in goal with the right back of Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, Martinez and Varane in the middle, Casemiro and Mount in the midfield as a ball-winning midfielder and a segundo volante. Then Bruno Fernandes as an attacking midfielder, inside forwards of Antony and Sancho, and Rashford in the middle of the attack. For the tactic, I have chosen for a 4-2-3-1. I have gotten this from the FM Scouts site, so just go ahead, go to that website and search for this one and you'll find it. I have made 2 tweaks of it. That is, I have made, it started with 2 ball-winning midfielders or defensive midfielders, I think, and I've made it into 1 ball-winning midfielder and 1 segundo volante, so we had a bit more balance in the team. And also, I don't think I'm also always going to be playing the mentality of attacking, but positive, because I think positive is more than enough. And then onto the substitutes. As you can see, Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire are our backup ball-playing defenders, with Dalot and Malacia as our backup wingbacks. Of course, you can see that Malacia here is out for 4 to 5 months, and Luke Shaw is as well for 3 to 4 months, so we're going to have to find a solution for that. And we have one, because in real life, Manchester United already loaned in Sergio Reguilon. He's not great, of course, but it's only a loan for a year, so that's fine. Then, as the backup segundo volante and ball-winning midfielder, we have Amrabat and Tomine. So we're going to need to find a replacement for Amrabat after the season, because I do not like loanies and I do not like using them. Then Garnacho and Anthony Martial are good enough to be our backup inside forwards. Eriksen is going to be our backup advanced midfielder, and Marcus Rashford is going to be our advanced forward, while Højlund is still going to be a backup for us for right now. And then the players that we want to get out of the club. There's 4. Tom Heaton, backup goalkeeper, earning a lot of money, want to get him out. Donny van de Beek, 26 years old now, I really want to sell him. They brought him in for 39 million. I just want to get this guy out. I want his wages, I want a bit of transfer money that I can use to bring in a better player. He's not really playing for us. Then Facundo Pellegrini, youngster, it doesn't have the right mentals to really make it, so rather get this guy out of the club as well. And then a surprise to some of you, Victor Lindelof. This guy mentally isn't as good as Johnny Evans, as you can see right here. If we compare him with Johnny Evans in that role that we want to play him in, you can see that technically he's a little bit better, but has worse heading, so not really anything major. He's better at crossing and at penalty taking, but that doesn't really matter. Then mentally, Johnny Evans is a lot better, as you can see, if not just the same. And physically, in the areas that matter, so jumping, reach, strength and pace, Johnny Evans is like, okay, he's not a lot worse. So that's made me wanting to sell Victor Lindelof 200k a week, and then we're going to be losing probably Johnny Evans, because Johnny Evans is only here for a year, but after that he is going to leave, and then we're going to need another ball-playing defender next to Martinez, because Varane, although very good, he's not one of the best, and he's not great, but he is earning 400k a week, and I just don't think that that is justified anywhere. So really want to get this guy out of the club, want to see if I could sell him on. And next thing, let's jump into Manchester United's finances. Before we get on with the video, don't forget to leave a like if you like the video and subscribe if you want to see more. I upload every week, 3 days, on Tuesday, Friday and Sunday. So go ahead and subscribe to never miss out on an upload. With that out of the way, let's continue the video. Finance wise, Manchester United isn't looking too bad. They have a lot of money in the budget, but of course big wages. 5.6 million is insane, and I think it's one of the highest in the Premier League. If we can get rid of some of those players that I just shown you, we could probably free about 400,000 in wages, and if we also are able to get rid of Varane, we will be like, I think, 1 million in more wages, so that would be very nice. But for now, the finances are looking quite okay, because we do have some bank loans, but that's actually an insane net debt. I never even looked at that. But of course, Manchester United have a lot of commercial income, so I think we'll be fine to pay off those loans and make sure we can bring in some big players in the next coming seasons. Next up, scouting. I've made 3 recruitment focuses. One is going to be named Main, and as you can see, a lot of players are in here are very high tier players. Then we also have youth, where a lot of youth players will come in, and youngsters. And as you can see, this is what they look like. So youngsters 15 between 18, youth is 18 or 15 between 23, and of course minimum potential of 4 stars. And then main is of course 2.5 stars, a minimum potential of 2.5 stars. I might up this to 3 because I only want good players, 15 to 35. They have assigned scouts for me. I don't want that. I want any scout to work on this. And then let's go ahead and put them on ongoing, because we want them to keep focusing on that, and then my scout, my real scout, can assign who he wants to pursue. As we go to scout the players here, you already see a lot of players that we could potentially bring in. I've already filtered them on what I want to see, and I can just go ahead and Control A, Control P, paste this into my Excel and see what kind of players we could possibly get in. Of course, very high price tags of all of these players, so it's going to be very hard to bring them in because we don't have any money to spend. So let's hope that we can get rid of some of those players that we don't need anymore, such as Van de Beek and Lindelof. Before we jump into the schedule, I just wanted to share this with you. Anthony Martial only has a contract for 1 more year, but he's earning way too much, so I kinda wanna get rid of him, or I need him to accept that he's going to earn a lot less. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to have his contract run out also this season. I really want this guy to renew his contract because he's 25 years old, English, and a great right back with 20 tackling, which is absolutely insane. So I really hope that this guy will sign a new contract. For the rest, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Also for Tom Heaton, Evans, there's not going to be a new contract. Brandon Williams, maybe if he's back from loan. Sofian Anwarabat and Reguilon also aren't going to leave. So let's see if we can renew the contract of Aaron Wan-Bissaka this season. I'm not going to do it right now, but somewhere along the season I'm going to try to renew it. So these are the friendlies: Arsenal, Milan, Chelsea, Liverpool, Salzburg and Oldham. Altogether, I think we'll earn about 1.5 million from that, so that's nice. I always schedule these friendlies because they just give me a little bit of money, and it's always nice to have. Then of course in the competitions we are joining the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League and the Carabao Cup. In the Champions League we're expecting to reach the round of 16, which is actually very low. I think we're going to try to do better at least. Qualify for the Europa League, of course, isn't going to be very hard, and quarterfinals of the FA Cup also shouldn't be too big of a deal. What I'll be doing now is I'll be going through the whole preseason. I'll be going into these games, seeing how far I can go and how good I can do, and I'll be back at the end of January transfer window, which is I think around this Tottenham game, so that's when we'll be back. You'll see if we sold some players, what kind of players we brought in, and how we did in the first 3 games of our Premier League season. So see you in a bit. It is the 2nd of September. We've played 3 Premier League games and we've won all 3 of them. We are top of the league, with Bruno Fernandes being our absolute star, 7.9 rating and 4 assists. This guy is going to be insane for the rest of this series until he retires. Anyway, 3 wins, which means that we're now in 2nd, but how were we able to do that? Did we make any signings? Did we sell any players? Let's jump straight into the transfers. So first things first, let's jump into the player sales. We have sold Varane for 67 million to Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad. I wanted to get rid of him. 69 million is a lot for a 30-year-old. 400k he was earning, so that money we could invest in new players, and we did. He's currently earning 1 million a week, so he should be very happy right there at Al Ittihad. Then we've also gotten rid of Tom Heaton. He went to Espanyol and now he's earning a lot less. This guy, we didn't really use him anymore. He was earning a lot of money, so we moved him on. Then also noteworthy was Hannibal, a youngster. Got 10 million for him, which was nice. We could use that to invest in someone else. This guy isn't really going to be playing a lot for us, I don't think, and he's not going to develop into that player that we want him to. So just managed to sell him on for 10 million. Then also Donny van de Beek left for 14.5 million. He's going to be sold to Barcelona if they ever win the league. He's now loaned out, so also got a lot more room in our wage budget. That's very nice. And all the other players that went out are youngsters out on loan or youngsters that we sold on. For example, this guy, Shola, short tire. Just sold him on for a couple million to Everton. He's never going to come into the first team, so might as well just sell him on. And onto the signings. I have only made 2 signings, 2 ball-playing defenders, 2 central defenders. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. Our backup ball-playing defender, Gonzalo Inacio, bought him for 47 million from Sporting. This guy is already insane and is already a very good backup. He is going to be a 3-star, but he could potentially be a 4-star, and if this guy improves a lot more, he's going to be insane for us as that backup rotational player. Very happy to have him in for 47 million. Very nice to have this guy in as a replacement for Johnny Evans, who is going to leave after this season because his contract is running out and he's like 35, so it's good that we have some 13-year-old younger player in that can be with us for the future. Then next on the list we have spent big. 85 million for Christian Romero, and if you look at this guy you understand why we're paying that for him. This guy has insane mentals, well-rounded physicals and great technicals to play in the ball-playing defender position. We've gotten rid of Varane, so we needed someone better to replace him, and if we look at the datasheet, this guy is almost 1.3 score points higher. That's all due to his great technicals and mentals. Very happy to have this guy in. 85 million for someone who's going to be for us, I think, for the next 10 years, because this guy's insane, is very well. A very good value for money as well. So very happy to have Christian Romero in for the future. Last thing I wanted to show you is which teams we have been drawn in the UEFA Champions League. Barcelona, Union Berlin and Braga makes it for a very easy pool for us, so we should be able to definitely reach the round of 16 and maybe even higher. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you like this video, please leave a like down below, and if you want to see more, subscribe down below as well. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one.